Finally, Western Kentucky University, a school with incredible basketball tradition going back at least 50 years. I first remember Western Kentucky from Jim McDaniels back in the early 70s, one of the great college players of all time, and Clem Haskins played there, went on and had a great NBA and career in coaching as well. And it has rich tradition. And do not sleep on this team. It's in Western Kentucky, comes out of Conference USA. Middle Tennessee State has been a dominant team in that league for the last few years. Marshall made some noise in the NCAA tournament. And Rick has done a really good job in remolding this team fairly quickly. They are 4-1 against power conference teams. And they had to play their way through places like Oklahoma State with a sold-out crowd, and knocked off Boston College at home and also beat USC out in LA to get here. This is a really exciting team. You're going to love Justin Johnson. I think his lone senior that plays a lot, although Dwight Colby, that has been with the program, I should say. Justin's been at Hilltopper for 4 seasons, but he does have some other upperclassmen. But this kid, Justin Johnson, man, Hazard, Kentucky. From Hazard, Kentucky to, how many people in Hazard? No, not many, not many. But we're going to hang out in Times Square today and see if Justin doesn't want to jump on a plane and go back home. But if you know Justin, he'd be out here right in the middle of Times Square soaking it all in. But Rick's done a fabulous job this year. Rick Stansbury, Western Kentucky.
Thank you, Fran. Like all the other coaches, we're excited to be here in New York, and thank you, committee, for seeing some value in what Western Kentucky did throughout the season. Vaughn, I owe you an apology. Sorry we had to beat Boston College that first round, but hey, they had a tremendous year and they were a really good basketball team. Our journey is kind of different than these other guys here, our teams. You know, we basically had one player back, Justin Johnson, and we got him back August the 5th, right before we got ready to leave to go to Costa Rica. And we got him back 30 pounds heavier in a bum knee because he went out to play spring football. But we were excited to get him back, but it was probably until January till he kind of started becoming himself. So it was a different journey. We had to put different pieces together. We've got 2 fifth-year graduates, and Dwight Colby played at Kansas, then Darius, who played at Virginia. But the one thing this team has had in common, when you're trying to put a whole new group of guys together, we got a group of high-character guys. It was the 3rd week of January before we got our 8th scholarship player eligible. We played the first 3 months with 7 guys. And the experiences we had playing in the Battle of Atlantis, we found a way, you know, played Villanova and found a way to beat Purdue and SMU, bonded these guys. And then once we got those other 2 guys eligible, it gave us a little bit more depth. But our players it's a close-knit bunch. As Fran just said, we had a challenging schedule and way to get here. And it started from the disappointment of not winning our conference tournament, a team we'd beaten twice. But sometimes you're just not your best. Give the other team credit. Marshall was very good, and they proved that in the NCAA tournament how good they were. But your challenge, and I've been on this side, you got to get your team back up. It's that first game is always the most important one. Also, I've been on that side where you go to the NCAA tournament, you play one game and get beat, you're home. We had to sell our team on this journey, getting to New York City. Winning 3 games and getting here is much better than playing one and getting beat, even though we all strive to get to that NCAA tournament. But this is, as these other coaches have said, the opportunity to play on this stage. Only one of 8 teams left playing is really special. Now, the bad thing about it, I got to play Larry in Utah. That's the bad thing about it. And when you start watching film on them, I cut it off about 50 sets. So, guys, whoever gets him next, just get prepared. You cannot prepare for all his sets. He does an unbelievable job offensively, defensively. He's got a veteran basketball team. And just what he just got finished doing, going to St. Mary's and winning. And all you coaches have probably been there or been around that. That's not easy to do. And his team found a way to do it. So we know we've got our hands full there. And these guys right here, and like I know Coach Chambers he's got his team playing at a level that probably nobody thought he'd ever do at Penn State. And he's doing it now. He's doing it consistently. And Coach Highland, I kept telling him this three years ago. I said, the only bad thing about Starkville, and again, that was my life for years, come August, that water's going to be green and not blue. But the job he's done in the 3 years there is tremendous. And he's got that program heading back where you can compete at a national level. And again, he knows this. It's not easy. Very few people could have done a better job in what Ben has done at Mississippi State. So, again, thank you, committee. We're happy to be here in New York, and this ought to be a great tournament. Thank you.